The arrival of Matthew Kern and his pregnant wife Jen in July of 2015 ushered in a decade of incredible change. He was 30 years old with a rap album on the market, and we were his first full-time appointment. The church at that time was a congregation with an average age of 60 to 65, committees that had dwindled to 2 to 3 members, poor worship attendance, and finances so poor that our pastor had been receiving salary assistance from the conference. The birth of their child that fall was the firstborn to a senior pastor in at least 50 years, if ever, and presented FUMC with a new experience, paternity leave. Our joy in the thrill of a newborn church baby was overshadowed somewhat by the fact that during this time, the church experienced some staff turnover and additional financial problems. God, by His grace, wisdom, and love, led us to a resolution. Sunday, October 25th, 2015, marked 100 years of worship in our sanctuary. The celebratory service included Matt returning to the pulpit for a brief homily and a slide presentation of the symbolism depicted in our stained glass windows. Even though we had a large attendance anniversary Sunday, the gradual decline in our attendance continued. The announcement Matt made at the Leadership Council retreat on Saturday, August 20th, 2016, and repeated during Sunday worship on the 21st, shocked the church. The conference did not feel that we were fulfilling our mission as a church and had placed FUMC Sanford on a list of possible closures. It was a time of angst, anger, harsh words, and intense prayer. We lost more members, but those remaining were encouraged to participate in an 11-week self-study and evaluation program titled Choosing a Faithful Path. After Sunday service, a light lunch was served, followed by Matt leading the study. We actually had 3 options: merge with another congregation, close as FUMC Sanford, or commit to redirecting our focus outward to share the love of Jesus with our neighbors and community. In November, we were asked to choose an option. When the secret ballots were counted, it was a unanimous decision. We committed to do whatever necessary to continue as a church. We, along with 5 other churches, were invited by the district to be a part of the 2-year Nehemiah project. We were assigned a mentor who, with the pastor and 2 lay people, attended a series of workshops and were given assignments to assist in the rethinking process and suggested actions such as updating and or expanding our website and social media presence. At our charge conference in October, a change in the structure of our leadership council was proposed, voted on, and passed, eliminating all council committee member positions, retaining only the chair positions of trustees, finance, staff parish relations, the lay leader, and pastor. These persons would become a member of each of these committees. In an effort to become more involved in the community and think more beyond our walls, the We Care ministry was reactivated, led by Jen Meestep and the United Methodist Men, whose goal it was to contact our shut-ins each month with a visit or call. They were later joined by a group of ladies who send cards to all the congregants on birthdays, as well as to our shut-in members monthly. This program remains very active to date. We also participated in the Downtown Sanford Alive After 5 night in February, National Heart Month. Phyllis Step arranged to have nurses and equipment loaned by Advent Health to teach CPR to anyone interested. We learned in the spring of 2017 that we would be having a pastoral change in June. Another first, not only for FUMC Sanford, but for the entire Florida Conference. Part-time, bivocational, co-pastors, David and Megan Killingsworth. As the description implies, financially they are one appointment. Each has employment outside the church, and they share the senior pastor position. With their year-old son in tow and the ink still wet on their diplomas, they hit the town and church running, enmeshing themselves in the downtown infrastructure, calling all members, and interacting with those guests of the picnic project. They had a vision of utilizing our underused fellowship hall into a co-op to do good in our area and create a little income for the church. Grants were written and funds donated to renovate the old kitchen into a modern commercial space. The halls, bathrooms, and rooms were cleaned, painted, and generally made ready for partners, as was a common room with a copier, water, snacks, and comfortable furnishings for meetings, etc. Picnic Project, which had recently established a well-stocked food pantry in the building, continued to be a cornerstone partner of the co-op. Grace and Grits moved their Wednesday night and Saturday morning meals into Fellowship Hall. It became apparent in 2018 that the duties of the trustees for a church of our size, age, and undergoing major plant renovations were such that we needed to fill out the entire trustee committee. We followed suit with the filling out of the others in 2019 as we discovered that without committees, no one was in training for future leadership slots. The church did have to close its doors in March 2020, but only temporarily due to the COVID-19 worldwide outbreak. God had blessed this church with strong clergy leadership and also a dedicated congregation and community, all of which joined in morphing our hot meals into bags of groceries distributed twice weekly, having worship services, classes, and meetings via electronic devices and or outside, and establishing telephone trees to stay in contact as much as possible. Indoor worship and other gatherings resumed on a limited basis in September following the CDC guidelines, adapting to the situation but still making every effort to fulfill our mission of loving our neighborhood. During Advent that year, another clergy baby was born as the Killingsworth welcomed their second child. October of 2022 marked the beginnings of two new gatherings, Pints and Parables, a discussion which meets at Henry's Depot downtown on Sunday afternoon, and The Table, an informal, interactive worship service which meets on Sunday evening in McKinley Hall. Kairos Adventures became a part of our church this year, bringing new joy and activity. There are many other ongoing ministries such as Scouts, music, children's choir, and drama, confirmation class, Bible study, quilt group, holiday flowers, and our Chrismon tree. First United Methodist Church of Sanford has a history of faithful and dedicated men and women who gave their time and energy tirelessly in service through the years. May we be so diligent and God-centered during our time as a part of this legacy.